Little Caesars changed the game, bro.
They did.
Little Caesars changed. That's the most shot of shit.
Hey, Chewy, blood. They want you on the podcast, bro. Look, he Mexican, bro. You gotta put him on.
Am I interrupting your depression? I'm sorry.
This week's episode of The Voice Party is brought to you by Big Boy Wraps. Get your car wrapped by some of the most experienced and skilled in the Bay. Big Boy Wraps, where the big boys play.
Welcome to this episode of The Voice Party. Come on, bro. Stop fucking with me, man. Welcome to this episode of The Voice Party. I am Corday Snell, and with me I got JD Aranya.
So
Close enough. All right, cool. We got Phil's on the 1 and 2s.
What's cracking, crackers?
Exactly. We got Marcos.
What's up?
And we got Black Joaquin, or Joaquin, whatever you prefer to go by.
Thank you, Corday. Good to see you.
You're welcome. Good to see you too, man. And we got a special guest today. Guest, introduce yourself.
My name's Jose. What's up, motherfuckers?
Returning guest. There you go.
Returning guest. You did it at my house last time.
Yeah.
You seen all the new changes, man?
It's fucking hot in here, bro.
It is.
It
is.
Yeah, it is.
That's why we like it, though. You get like a little nervous, and all the truth comes out, bro. We're bleeding you out for.
Bro, I'm coming out at least 5 pounds lighter after today.
Hey, man, goals, man.
Sweat.
He came out with a documentary called Unhealthy Comedian. That's why we record here, so he can lose weight while doing this.
Why you laughing, dude?
That's my poker face.
Ask him if he lost the weight.
Yeah.
Don't ask me shit. Don't ask me any of that shit.
He said he weighs himself every Monday because he sweated 5 pounds after the podcast.
It's because I like to start the day with bad news. No, for real. Thank you for coming back, bro.
No, thank you guys.
We had a good episode last time. We had a lot of people reached out to me that they watched it and they were like, "Yo, that was dope, man." Like, you said you hadn't talked about some of that shit before, right?
Yeah,
you talked about your firefighting.
It was just a firefighting experience that we actually just conversated about, just the whole fire camp. But we never talked about what really went down behind them prison walls.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
we're gonna get into that today.
That's all the interesting shit right there.
You did touch a little bit, but mostly about the fires.
Mostly just the fire experience. Yeah.
I don't know anyone that's worked fires, and explain a little bit to the listeners who maybe didn't listen to that last episode.
So whoever didn't watch that last episode, we were just talking about extreme landscaping, being incarcerated. You know how we're forced to go fight fires with chainsaws and shovels and shit, you know, for $1 a day and shit sucked.
Barbecue, right? And barbecues too.
Well, they gave us barbecue. Yeah, that was the only cool part about it. You know, but nah, it was an experience, man. And whoever didn't watch that episode, go watch it because it's something different that not a lot of people know about.
And just so they know, you were an inmate working the fire, Cal Fire.
Which fire? Which fire were you?
I was about
150, right?
About 150. The biggest one probably known was probably that Santa Rosa one that was burning.
Remember that big ass one?
Okay, yeah.
I was out there.
He still has nightmares about that one, according to the last episode.
That shit's crazy.
Oh shit, yeah. I had just moved back to Santa Barbara when that happened, like, so I had missed the fire ever. But then it was crazy. Santa Barbara had a huge fire out there, so I was wondering if you was working that.
We were at that one too, right after the Santa Rosa one.
Oh, for real?
You went to Santa Barbara?
We went to Santa Barbara.
So they took you guys there. Oh yeah, you did say that.
We were doing the Santa Rosa cleanup around December. And then the Santa Barbara one took off.
Oh yeah.
So we got called to that one. We were over there for like three weeks.
Yeah, that's why I learned about like inmates who work on like the fire and stuff like that, getting paid like $1 a day or something. Or they said like some people getting paid like 89 cents or something like that.
When you're in the fire, when you're on the fire, you're getting paid an hour. Yeah. $1 an hour. Yeah. And then just regular day, no fires, $1 a day.
Okay.
So it's
enough to get some spread.
Hell yeah. Soups, rice, pork rinds. Fuck it, shoot it.
That shit was crazy too.
How much does pork rinds cost or soup?
Fuck, bro. When I was in there,
is it cheaper than out here?
Fuck no.
Damn. So how do you
pay Century Theater prices to fucking pork rinds?
Probably more.
I think a soup we were paying like 75 cents for a soup in county jail.
Oh yeah. Okay. They're $1 out here.
Yeah, they're $1. Yeah.
Inflation's hit us then.
Yeah.
So they give you a little cheaper.
Yeah, I think the pork rinds were like $2.50. $2.50 to $3.
But that's a whole day's work in fucking soup.
And then if you're not working, then you're fucked.
Shit. Damn. Okay. Yeah.
So shit. There's other ways to get your money too, though. So there's always.
Well, that's what we're here to talk about.
Folks, put money on your books.
What are some of the things we missed? Because we talked about the fires and how the prison politics affected the people working fires, which I thought was crazy.
Well, prison politics affects everything you do in prison.
Yeah.
It affects, you can't, like, for example, Mexicans can't sell with another race.
Cell? Oh, in the same cell?
Same cell. You can't be in the same cell with another a race. Like, if you're a Southsider, you can only be in there with another Southsider or a Paisa. If you're a Paisa...
The Paisas are the guys that are affiliated but not in the gang, right?
They're like, my
just
dad
Mexican.
or the guy that's in there running Mexican but with no gang affiliation. And then, so every race, you pretty much can't bunk with no one else. And
You can't bunk with a northerner either?
Nah, can't do it. Can't do it. None of that.
How the fuck do they control that shit?
Control that? Yeah.
You gotta fight. You gotta fight, right?
Yeah.
You gotta fight it out.
Yeah. If I'm like, for example, if I'm in my cell, right, I land in a cell that's empty.
Like, let's say you go in with Corday in the cell.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna have to fight him.
Damn.
Seriously?
Even if you're cool on the outside.
Even if we're cool in the outside, if he's in the cell by himself first and they try to put me in there, I gotta refuse to go in there. I gotta refuse. I cannot walk in that cell. If I put a foot in that cell, I'm getting beat up by my own kind.
Now, what happens with like Afro Mexicanos? Where it's,
that's good.
Do any
Depends on what you look like.
Because my question is because there are black Mexicans in Mexico, are there any of them involved in any of the street gangs? I don't think
Fuck yeah, bro. And
like the Serreños and Norteños.
Fuck yeah, man. So there was a situation in the prison yard. I remember I was already in there for a few months. We were in the prison yard working out. So the prison yards have workout areas where it's divided in half. You got the half of the workout area, you got the Mexicans and the whites, and the other half you got the blacks, the northerners, and the others. So it's a line. They do a line around the whole workout and then one down the middle. So if you cross that line, they gotta rush you. You can't even step foot in it, bro. You cannot walk through there. Nothing. You gotta go around it. So I remember one day we were at the dip bar doing pull-ups and dips and all that, and it was funny because like you said, Afro Mexicans, and we were working out one day and we see a black dude walking in with an Asian dude. Walking right through our workout area, and me
rush hour.
Yeah, bro, we jumped up. Me and my boy that were working out. We jumped up. Hey, what the fuck you doing? What the fuck you doing? Like, what's up, Holmes? That's cool. I'm a Southsider. We're with the yeah, dude. We were like, what? No, I'm a Southsider. I'm from LA. He started banging in there.
You were a Southsider?
No, I was a Paisa. I was running with the Paisa.
Okay.
So I remember we jumped up, but that was by law. We have to, we gotta react. If we're the closest ones, we gotta react no matter what. Okay. It don't matter who it is that's walking by. If they're not allowed to be in that area, you gotta immediately react. Hey, what the fuck? You can't be over here. You gotta straight take off. So remember we were gonna take off, and hey, chill, homie. I'm with y'all. I'm a homie. I'm
an ally.
Yeah, I'm a homie. He said I'm a homie, and we were like, what the fuck? And then I guess they were like, yeah, that's a homie. And all right, I guess it was cool, whatever. It was a trip because I'm like, I ain't never seen.
You were one of the first ones to say, hey.
Yeah.
Now the Asian guy walking with him, I'm assuming that's a different story.
He was a Southsider too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he was a Southsider. Well, LA has a lot of gangs.
They have a lot of Filipino Southsiders.
Yeah, bro. And
I heard about that.
That shit was new to me.
That's dope. I mean, the idea
dope.
No, I mean just the idea that
inclusion.
Inclusion. Yes. I mean, it may be inclusion in a criminal gang, but it still warms as someone who is technically Afro-Latino. It warms.
Oh yeah, because what would you do if you were in prison? You're Mexican, half Mexican, and then
quarter.
Black.
I honestly,
you'd have to click up with the Oakland black dudes. Huh?
I have no idea. I have no idea where.
It depends what you choose to run. Who you feel more comfortable.
I'm a civilian first and foremost, so I mean, I probably would try my best to keep to myself, but.
Is that even an option in prison?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
I can't just sit in my cell and read a book.
Yeah, that's not an option.
They're gonna fucking.
He shut that down hella quick.
Cops are gonna be like, nah, who you running with, dude? You're not gonna be in there by yourself.
Just like that movie that just came out, Shot Caller, where the dude goes into jail because of an accident or some shit, and he becomes like a top member of the Aryan Brotherhood in jail.
That was kind of
realistic, huh?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the whole
he comes out racist and shit.
Yeah, no. See, that's one thing. Like that's the whole point of that story. It was kind of realistic because you could be someone just regular on the streets, but you go in there, it's a whole different world, man, and you become someone else. It's like you either eat or you get eaten alive. So it's different.
I guess I'd
do you miss it? No, I'm just kidding.
I guess I'd run with whoever asks first. like, come join my team.
Is that how that works either?
We see you wearing that red shirt, homie. Cut him here.
Is that how that works, or do you have to pick?
Nah, you gotta pick. You because they ask
it's a draft.
It's a draft. Yeah.
We the black delegation.
Does that mean, can I choose to run with like the Chinese triads? That'd be fun. Or the Yakuza? Okay, cut off my pinky.
Actually, yeah, you can.
Hey guys, look, I've read a whole lot about y'all, and I'm really excited. I look good in a suit.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Now, Joaquin walk up, be like, "Hey, which one of y'all got the most books?" I'm fighting with y'all.
Nah, they do all that. They situate all that before you even get into a cell.
Really?
You know, the cops, the COs, when they're putting you in the system, they got to make sure they got to put you with the right people. Because if they fuck up and put you with, let's say you're black, and they put you in with the Mexicans, with you without not knowing anything, the Mexicans don't know what you know. You're gonna be in there confused, like, oh, I don't know. They're gonna fucking the only way to get
you alive.
They're gonna fucking rush you. They're gonna nah, get him out of here. He ain't part of us, whatever. And then they just gonna move you out.
I want to go with whoever works out the less. I don't want to join no fucking extreme workout
You're
program,
fucked, bro. You're gonna have to work out regardless.
I guess we know for a healthy comedian too what we got to do.
I go in there with you. I gotta lose some weight.
So you do miss it,
nah, man. That shit. By law, you have to work out.
Yeah.
If you're under
40, right?
40. If you're under 40, you gotta work out.
What is the reason for that?
Yeah.
You gotta be ready for war.
Because at any minute, were you there? Like, not that you saw stuff, but were you there when there was like a?
We were actually gonna kick it off. That was gonna be a big ass.
No, careful what you say. you told me to.
No. We were. This is
okay.
So, bro, one morning, we're in Susanville. I was already in Susanville. You know, snowing. It's like. I want to say
part of for Cal Fire.
No. This was already before. This was before I got to camp. I was already in prison. I was already in Susanville over there by Nevada. There was during the snowy weather. So I remember one morning they go to the windows. They send a messenger. Hey, mandatory chow. When it's mandatory chow, that means something's gonna kick off. So everyone has to go.
Mandatory chow?
Yeah, they lace them up. They tell you lace them up, mandatory chow. So we're like, oh shit.
Who starts a mandatory chow for? Like, how does that even?
I guess some shit kicked off in one of the dorms because where I was located at, it's a big ass prison yard, but it was like a building in a U, and it was different dorms, two different floors. Each dorm is about probably 50, 60 heads. Like 15 bunks in one side, 15 bunks in the other, but like double bunks. I guess some shit happened over an argument over a phone in one of the dorms, and some shit was gonna kick off.
That's crazy, which you're not supposed to have.
Nah, this was cool.
Oh.
And then I guess some shit was gonna kick off in the dorm. Didn't happen, so they were gonna take it to the yard. And they didn't want to get the guy out. Had to do involved with a black and a Mexican. So I remember. They were like, hey, mandatory chow, we got to go to chow. It was early in the morning. So we were like, oh, fuck, it's too early for this shit. But we're in line. It was weird, bro. Like a straight blood in, blood out movie scene in the yard. You know, you're fucking walking to chow. One side is all Mexicans, the other side is all blacks, and you can see you can feel the hostility. Just you're
like Lord of the Rings.
God, man, it's fucking fuck Lord of the Rings. Ain't got shit what happens in there.
Exactly. Yeah. Real quick, you say lace them up. Like, what are you lacing up? Like
shoelaces. You got
boxing gloves.
No. The reason why I asked is because like this comedian named Ali Sadiq, he says like when a riot's about to happen, like Mexicans versus blacks, whatever, it's like it's this joke called Mexicans got on boots. He's like
he said that in the last show
because he was like Mexicans Mexicans wear boots when they about to riot. He's like, because they don't wear boots on the rec yard. They wear like regular shoes or something. He's like, but Mexicans got on boots. That means they about to like they kick you and then they like stab you or stuff. So I was wondering like,
and then I got
like how true
by a
is
Mexican without boots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Love that joke.
Yeah. I'll send it to you after, but it's funny as shit though.
Okay, so you guys are in mandatory chow. So you get the heads up.
That sounds like a fucking mandatory lunch break, you know?
They call it chow time, right?
Yeah, it's chow time. Because you're not really supposed, like, you don't have to go, like, it's normally in the morning for breakfast. Every time you eat, they call it chow. So in the morning, the only way you get your lunch is if you go. But I mean, if you got cantina in your dorm or whatever, you don't have to. You don't have to go. Yeah. But when it's mandatory, you got to go. So, we were walking to the chow hall. And you can feel the vibe. Everyone's just staring at each other. You got the Mexicans on one side, and you got the blacks.
Like you're waiting for something.
Bro, you can feel it. You feel the vibe,
now,
bro.
All Mexicans or just Southerners?
Southerners. Let me rephrase that whole Mexican thing. The Southsiders and the Paisas, they ran together, so they're affiliated together. Mm-hmm. The Northerners are separate. They don't really affiliate with anybody right now.
They're like a secret unit.
They're just like their own. They're their own. They could program. They could do things with the blacks. We weren't allowed to do anything with the blacks.
Okay.
Or
so
the others.
Hey, switch seats with Corday.
Yeah, so
wouldn't that be a Paisa?
Oh yeah.
So then you got the others which are like the Asians, the Samoans, the Tongans, and all the different races. They're the whole one group.
The others.
Yeah.
Native Americans too, huh?
Native Americans. The Native Americans actually started running with the whites.
Oh shit!
No, they're with the whites.
Wow.
Yeah. So
because of that leader they had who was Native American, right? I think that's what I heard. I read something about that. One of the leaders they had was Native.
I don't know.
I'll tell you about that later.
But so then we were going to chow, and we're waiting in line, and we're just waiting for it to kick off. You're just waiting for someone to just take off.
So it could be anybody.
It could have been anyone. Everyone's just on their toes. You're just looking at each other. You're just like, you could feel it. Like, something. Nah, they're not. No. Somebody else is talking. I guess we were just waiting for the sign. We were in line just waiting for the sign, and we were walking in. They had two different chow halls, and you got the Mexicans on one side and the blacks on one side, but you could just feel the vibe. You're just like, oh, it's going to get ugly right now. It was at least more than like 200.
Were you scared, bro?
I was nervous, bro.
Yeah.
I was nervous.
Because anything could happen.
Yeah, it's not that I was scared. Like when you get, before a fight, you get those butterfly feelings and shit. That's how I was feeling. Like, all right, it's going to go down, but I'm just like, kind of like,
it's
my first time. I get nervous my first time.
That shit was, it was kind of nerve-wracking because
How many people like in each side?
Fuck, bro. It was
like 150 or more?
More than 100.
Oh,
easily.
Each side?
Easily more than 100 and something. It's a lot of motherfuckers in there, bro.
It was over a fucking phone.
Oh, that's what I'm about to say. Over a phone? Yeah.
And they involve everybody in that?
Yeah. Because I guess...
So what happens if no one makes the first move?
Well, someone's gonna eventually make the first move.
So someone did make this first move.
If they didn't, luckily they worked it out. Luckily they were.
Oh man! I found my phone. Never mind. Let's call it off, guys.
So it was under my left ass cheek. Sorry.
I mean, was it a cell phone or the phone station?
Cell phone.
Cell phone. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So, So I guess you guys do know that in prison there's a lot of cell phones in there.
Yeah.
And inside the prison yard, it's a little bit more harder to have a cell phone.
Yeah.
But whoever has a cell phone, they're allowed to like rent the phone for an hour. That's how they make money. You rent the phone or whatever.
And they call their family and shit.
Yeah. So that time, that specific situation, it had to do with a paisa who owned the phone, and he was just giving all the Southsiders and the paisas free phone time. Just not to all his homies, he was giving free phone time.
Oh, without collecting. He was just looking out for his own people. And I guess one black dude thought it was like he was entitled to grab some phone time, and he tried to confront the paisa. Hey, what the fuck? What about me? And dude was like, I ain't gotta give you shit. I'm looking out for my homies. What the fuck? And it started getting into a whole big situation where he thought like, I'm entitled to that shit. What the fuck? And it got bad. It got to a point where someone pulled out a shank, and they were like, nah, we gonna stab your ass. And then dude was like, hey man, you know, I just want to use a phone, and they just started going back and forth.
Gotcha.
They got to a point where like, hey, I guess they were telling his people, if you don't get him out of here, we gonna get him.
Yeah.
And they were like, nah, you ain't gonna do shit. Yeah. If that's the case, what's up? And then that's another, all right, wait till chow time.
Not back in that chow time. Wait till chow time. Yeah.
So that's
so they were ready to break heads just because of that shit.
Over the phone. So,
damn.
Yeah, you gonna love the joke. The joke is like about 15 minutes. They talk about like he tells a knife story because he's like, I just got here. I've been here about like 2 weeks, right? He was like, what Mexican got on boot speed? He's like, you just got here, huh? And he's like, you did a knife. He's like, what? He's like, you can't have a knife. He was like, you just got here, did you? And then so he tells a story about how to go. It's good. Yeah.
I gotta see it.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to say if you had shanks?
Fuck yeah.
Did you have shanks?
I mean, that was then, right? I mean, what are they gonna do? Like throw him in jail because he said he had a thing they may not be able to prove?
Well, he didn't say that to the COs. He didn't tell. Okay. He was telling the dudes raised like, hey, we going. The other black dudes that were there with him, they pulled out a shank.
No, I'm talking about you personally.
Oh,
you have shanks?
I didn't.
No,
I didn't.
He's like, no.
Move on, JD. He didn't have one. Okay.
It wasn't 12 inches long.
I was able to come by one if I needed one.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like, I didn't own one.
Just
because in the dorm where I was staying at, this is another situation that happens a lot where like a lot of shit gets mixed up where they put you in the dorm, and this is why they tell you who you run with, because I get put in the dorm and they try to bunk me with a black dude. I can't bunk with him. So they were putting us in dorms where they were just mixing us up. But once we got there, we weren't staying in our bunks. We were just like, all right, you know what? You just stay on this side. Don't worry about that bunk. And let's say I'm in one bunk and that bunk belongs to a white boy or a other or a northerner or whatever. And then I got a shank in there and they find it. Cops come in here, they search us, whatever, and they find the shank. That's going to go back to that dude because that bunk's assigned to him. It doesn't matter if I'm sleeping there. If it's under his name, that's who they're going to go for. And
so now they're going to come after you.
And that creates a whole situation too.
Gotcha.
Right.
There's limits and there's rules where you got to kind of follow, because if you don't, you put yourself out there and you going.
It's just reckless behavior.
Yeah.
Like if you're being reckless and fucking over everyone else, then there's problems.
So you can't just that sucks. You can't just go in there and say, I'm going to do my time, catch them up by reading.
Yep. Maybe play some chess.
Maybe finally finish that script.
I've been wondering, right? I mean, Malcolm X educated himself when he was in prison.
But he was probably still involved in gangs. He had to go to mandatory jail.
But
that was back in like the freaking the 40s.
That's probably different.
But they still had gangs, like little,
like no telling like what the Harlem gang structure was like. I know he was an independent operator.
Detroit, right?
No, sorry, Detroit.
Yeah.
No, well, he was in Harlem first.
Was he in Harlem?
No, he was in Harlem later.
He was Detroit Red. That's why they called him it.
So when he was in Detroit, he was an independent operator. No telling what the gang structure was like in the United States in those days. I know there weren't Crips yet or Nortes or any of that. I know that the mafia was doing their thing, but I'm not sure what the rules were like back then.
Well, that's the thing. California prison system is not the same as any other state.
It's one of the most different systems.
We're the only prison system that has the politics I have in California. Like, we go to Arizona. Let's say we get locked up in Arizona, Nevada, or somewhere else.
You bunk with Corday.
They don't. Yeah, they pretty much could. You could.
See, Corday.
That shit does.
I ain't trying to go to jail, dude.
unless you get sent out of California for like you could do your time for California in an out-of-state prison, then it's different. You're going to a similar system, but I since I haven't been out there, I really don't know how they run.
Not yet. I'm just kidding.
Fuck that.
There, man. There we go. Man. He ain't going back. Here for more Voice Party episodes.
No, they hate California, man. If you go to
the
other prisons, they hate California because of their politics.
Because they let their prisoners pretty much dictate
run it.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because there's so many prisoners here.
Because when you see like Russia's prisons, the motherfuckers have to walk out of their cells with their head down and shit with AK to their head. That's some other shit over there.
So to go to San Quinn, when we were in San Quinn, when you had to go to yard time, it's mandatory yard and reception.
Yeah.
And when you're in reception, you're in 23-hour lockdown. Some days 24. But when they send you out to yard for like 2 hours, you gotta walk out in your boxers. You can't walk out fully dressed. Sorry. They walk you out in your boxers with your clothes in your in your hand because
they're checking.
They're making sure that you're not taking nothing out.
Okay. Is it true that San Quentin had that chant or they played something at the end of the night? It was like good night. blah blah blah.
Every
and then
morning, every night.
Every morning, yeah.
Every
They used to in rehab. They would recite that. They would sing that every morning.
Every morning.
And they would be funny because they're like, it was like black dudes, white dudes, Mexican dudes, and they were like, dude, we couldn't fuck with each other. But sometimes like they would come out. Like there's 2 dudes in our house that were like, we actually had to separate them into different houses because they were like, we don't fuck with each other. We already know who he runs with, blah, blah, blah. And, I'm new to this shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck, so I'm learning, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, and then they would get, we'd get to our smoking breaks and stuff like that, and we didn't have a choice because it was pretty small compared to prison, so you had to interact with each other. But, yeah.
That shit.
They would say those. They would chant those every morning. The good night to the Usos, or
really?
whatever.
Every race.
I started learning it for a second. I was like,
my brother told me that. I don't say.
You remember that child?
There's a chant that the Sureños do, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What is that like? Am I supposed to?
That's That's what he's talking about.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's the morning. That's like the morning chant and the night chant. Mm-hmm. So every morning they got one of the dudes that for every race. They gotta wake up every morning, and every morning they gotta they're pretty much kind of like letting everyone
wake-up call.
Letting everyone know it's program time. Wake up, it's time.
Like a soldier.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Like,
it kind of sounds like the prison version of Goodnight Moon. That it's a children's book. It's a little poem. It's like,
I don't think it's anything like that.
It's like, as well I said, it's the prison version of that. Where it's everything is like, yeah, we getting ready for program, but in the book it's very sweet and it's saccharine. It's like, well, good night, tree. Good night, door. Good night, moon. It's
oh yeah, but
good night, mom. Good night, dad. Is how it
good
starts.
Night, Jim. Good night, little Jim. Good night, big Jim.
Fuck, man, you'd be there for an hour.
Right?
Good night, little Justin.
But it's like a call.
Good night, Usos.
It's a chant.
It's a chant. It's not like.
So is it multiple people doing it, or
It's
is it
one
person?
One dude
that does it for all the
for
races.
Everybody. One for each race.
For each race.
For each race. So I remember every morning it was since when I was in San Quentin, they had me in I was in Badger section, so that was like the backside where all the Norteños were there. All the Northerners was on that side. They had the Southsiders in the back section.
And they were your rivals, basically, right?
No, we affiliated with Southsiders.
Oh no! I'm talking about the Norteños.
Yeah.
But
rival. It wasn't.
Well, you're Paisa, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't call it rivals because, like I said, I mean, them and the Southsiders, they had their thing going on. At one point, I remember it was green light on each other.
Yeah.
But then now, I remember when I was in the yard.
You mentioned that last time. There's a truce.
I heard there was a truce right now.
There's a truce. I was at the yard for the whole truce.
You were there when it happened?
When it happened. I was in the yard for the whole truce.
So what makes them call it truce?
They could kind of like program with each other now.
Really?
Kind of like associate with each other. And before, it's not that they weren't cool with each other. It was more like a respect. You're in prison. You're not gonna
fuck around.
You're not gonna fuck around. Because one thing about prison, a lot of Southsiders haven't met a real Norteño. Cause majority of Southsiders are in LA. And there's nothing but Southsiders out there. There's no thing as Norteños in LA, in Southern California. So when they go to prison, they meet Norteños in prison, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are just like us, but just paying rent."
Just in different areas.
You like red more than blue.
Yeah. So, shit. Some of these guys were. I remember when I was in there, some of these guys were working out with each other, man.
Yeah.
Really?
They were working out with each other.
You know what's crazy? Do you know American Cholo? That podcast? Some dude who's a Cholo. He has a podcast. He interviews a lot of Cholos, ex-Cholos. You probably know what I'm talking about. Well, when did that truce happen?
I think it was 2016.
Because that dude, there's a lot of like older cats
and
that have YouTube channels, and they're doing shows with episodes with each other on each other's podcasts.
Well, a lot of like the Vice channel started doing that, where they would bring rival gangs together and be like, "So why did you hate this guy? You know what I mean?" Like, and they would try to tell each other the story, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's not what I heard. What I heard." They don't even know what they're fighting for.
They're trying to break down the walls.
Yeah,
they don't want to see that.
And everyone I talked to in rehab too, they all had different stories of why they hated each other.
Well, just like that.
I was like, that don't make no sense. What?
Dante Clark's documentary about the beef between North and Central, like they don't even know what that. Like it started with a car accident in the '60s or some shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like some show like that.
Well, that's what the movie's about. I don't know if you've seen it, but and it's just like that now. It's gotten hella far from that shit.
Yeah, it's not even about it. It's
not even about it.
Just because someone picked the wrong favorite color. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
The wrong hat.
The wrong
It's
hat.
the wrong
Dang
hat
it.
because if you're wearing a Cardinals hat, that's the central.
That's crazy because every area has their own little thing. Yeah.
Hat, yeah.
Hey, don't be wearing like I know in LA they wear different hats. SF is San Fernando.
Hoods, yeah.
You go to San Fernando wearing a SF hats.
Dude, it was another thing about like for example San Fernando. It was weird football season. We're in prison and I met a lot of Southsiders that were 49er fans, and I'm like,
yeah,
the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
and they wear red over there. I was growing up here. I didn't think that was a thing.
Okay, so check this out. There was a situation right before I got sentenced. We went to the Mexico and USA game in Pasadena back in October, like 2015, right?
Yeah.
And we ended up bumping into a Florencia cat.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. He was drunk, fucking shit faced.
Those dudes are crazy.
Dude, you're gonna laugh at this one. I was a Frankie, so. So we were in line to go to the bathroom, and Frankie's chopping up with an older white dude. They're talking about sports. They're sports guys. They're talking about the Dodgers, the Giants, and they started talking about, oh well, fuck it, we're enemies, whatever. But they're getting along with each other.
Yeah,
respect,
just shit talking.
This fucking dude turns around. The Florencia cat turns around, and he's like, "Hey, fuck you, motherfuckers!" And we're like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, fuck the Giants, fuck the Raiders, fuck the 49ers, fuck San Francisco, fuck the Bay Area, fuck Northern Cali. You motherfuckers my bitches. He said that, right?
How old was he?
I don't even know. He was a little older than us probably. He was drunk.
Damn.
And I remember we looked at him and we were like, hey, bro, chill the fuck out. Like, bro, I was on bail. I was out there with no permission. I was out there with no permission. I was like, dude, if I fuck this fool up,
You're done.
Mad. And then, so we started arguing with the dude, but they were trying to separate us and everything. And I remember he was just fuck you motherfuckers ain't shit. And I'm like, hey, bro, chill out, bro. We ain't out here.
Like, yeah, when's the last Super Bowl your team
like,
fucking won?
Like, chill the fuck out. Like, ain't no one trying to, what's your problem? Nah. So he goes in the fucking shitter, right? And I'm just taking my shit off. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. As soon as he opens this door, I'm gonna straight rush him in there, bro. I don't give a fuck. Luckily, my boy grabbed me and we walked off and everything because I was ready to go. And he was like, nah, bro, it's not worth it. You paid so much money to come out here. Why you gonna risk it? You're already on bail and everything. So I was like, all right, cool. So I guess he was tripping because, I was like, how we talk out here in the Bay Area. We got a different lingo. Yeah. So when I was talking, I'm like, hey, be cool, cuz, whatever. And he was like, I ain't your cuz.
Oh, yeah.
They got different lingo. So I was like, when I was talking to me, he was like,
the Mexicans don't say cuz at all.
They don't say none of that shit, bro. Yeah. And I was like, hey, all right, that'd be cool, bro. I ain't your brother either. Fuck you, homie. And I'm like, all right, fuck it.
All right, friend. I ain't your friend either.
Another story.
All right, buddy.
Yeah. So
I ain't no sir.
What do they say out
I
there?
guess.
So I remember I was in the dorm back in Susanville, right?
Sorry.
And I'm in there with a Florencia cat, big dude, big old. They called him Triste, big ass Florencia cat. A scary looking motherfucker, Brian.
Those dudes are
they're
like
crazy. No, they're crazy.
Fucking yeah.
But I ended up being hella cool with him. He was hella cool, bro. It was funny as fuck because I even told him, I'm like, hey, bro, I was gonna fight one of your homeboys. He was like, what, for real? I was like, yeah, he was tripping. I be tripping because we were saying cuz and this and that, but you over here saying the N-word. What the fuck is that? So I was like,
oh yeah, they're not supposed to say the N-word.
Well, supposedly they don't like it when you call them the N-word or whatever. And so he was over here using it, and I'm like,
they say that about us in the Bay Area that we say that.
But they use it over there too. So I was so then I was like, I was telling him, I'm like, bro, what the fuck you going, what the fuck? And he was like, oh nah, bro, he was probably from somewhere else. I'm like, motherfucker, yeah, right. But nah, man, it's I got a lot of hate when I was.
Was that right after you got out of jail?
No, this was when I saw
that thing that happened with the Florencia guy.
No, that was right before I went in.
Oh damn!
I was on bail.
You took off your shirt. You ready to?
Bro, I was ready to go, bro. I was like, fuck it, bro. I'm finna just rush to do it inside the shit.
How would that play out now? Because I remember you after high school, and I remember I think I shared this in the last story. I was just starting to be a manager at Little Caesars. We used to work at Little Caesars together, and this fool would come in sometimes with bloody knuckles and like. I was like, what happened? This motherfucker, like blah blah blah. I was like, ah shit, he got in a fight and his knuckles were all. One time you came, all your knuckles were split open. Yeah. And his fucking face, he had it looked like
blood.
Like
I just want a pizza now.
Yeah. I fell. Like no, no.
Nice.
And then they got in a fight at Little Caesars one time. That was the wildest job.
Which Little Caesars was this?
The one in San Pablo, or right across the fountain. You know what I'm talking about, right by the across the street from the USPS.
How long ago did you work there?
We were there 2009.
Nah, 16, 17.
Wait.
No. 6, 7, 8. 06.
Oh yeah. You worked there during like high school years. I worked there 08 to 09.
Okay, bro. I think I went in there one time, and I think I saw a dude who looked kind of cut up and kind of beat up, and I was just like, nah, bro.
It was either him or Frankie.
Did y'all have long hair? Anybody have long hair?
Yeah.
How long we talking about?
Enough to see. I don't know.
There was a lot of people with long hair.
Because I just remember walking in, I was like, hey, I don't know, we should go. And it was like, why?
Evan used to work there.
I was like, dude got a black eye, dude. What the fuck?
Evan used to work there too.
Really?
Yeah, that's how I met Evan.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And he saw some crazy shit too. We probably could do a whole episode on all that.
That'd be
fucking
funny.
Evan.
Yeah.
I remember me and Evan started fucking wrestling in the back of the. He was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, because he was wrestling. Yeah.
He was like, I know, I'm a black belt. Man, fuck your black belt. What's up? And we started going at it.
Didn't someone accidentally cut him one time? They were play fighting and they cut him.
I forgot who it was.
But luckily they were like, it was play fighting, but they
accidentally cut him.
and then Evan just kept working like that. And like, what the fuck?
Dripping blood into the pizza.
No, he
little
was
extra special sauce right
that
there
shit was,
for you.
Yeah. And then like hell, I don't know how many guns were shot in the back.
Oh my god.
That shit was
Yeah, bro. I had
we
good
could
sense
have
not
a
to go.
show
Down in Little Caesars.
I did not want to go to that San Pablo. I was like, also because like that part of the plaza too, it just like did it seem like y'all like that plaza was just dark sometimes?
was.
Yeah, just like for no reason. I'm like, what the fuck? Is that lighting?
We had the best wings and pizza there though.
Yeah, because we used to marinate them with our own like from home seasonings.
Okay.
They used to be like, bro, I kid you not, they had cups for the toppings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you get 1 cup for this.
Yeah.
Fuck that cup, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shitload of fucking.
Yeah, we did our own season, and then one time we made a pizza ourselves. That was like better than anything Little Caesars offers.
Yeah.
Like we did the dough ourselves, and then we went to a grocery outlet next door, and we bought all these fancy salamis and shit.
That's awesome.
Damn.
It was an interesting, but it was crazy, dude. One time someone jumped over to fight. I think it was him.
No, I think it was.
They jumped over to fight the customers over some bullshit.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why.
Oh no, that one wasn't me.
Yeah.
That one wasn't me.
I do remember like going there. My cousin was like, "Hey, they got some bomb ass wings here." I was like, "Little Caesar got good wings." He's like, "Nah, this one especially got some bomb ass wings." But like my cousin used
know somebody.
You know, yeah, it was kind of like that.
Yeah.
My cousin loved Little Caesars, and he'd always like be trying. Like I think my cousin came up with the idea of, you know how they have like the garlic bread, like the cheesy bread and stuff like that. He was like, "Hey," he came up with it. I think it was like right after they opened. He said, "Hey, can you like add like more cheese to it and then put like pepperonis on it?" And then all of a sudden, like a few years later, that was the thing.
Opened it up,
that was the thing, and I was like, "Bro, did you come up with this?" He was like, "I don't know." I was like, "I think you did," because I've never saw that before.
One of the things we did with the wings, you get the wings,
the Parmesan cheese and the pepper.
Usually, Little Caesar just puts them in the oven and you add some of the sauce. We would add the sauce before, and then Parmesan and like the seasonings that we use for the sauce and chili peppers, and put it through the oven like that, and then add some more, and it would be like cheesy.
Oh, it's
wow.
It was like, I mean, now I think about it, that's just like high blood pressure.
Yeah.
But at the time, that shit was hella good, dude.
It's like a marketing thing, but yeah. So it was hella funny to see, because I remember, you know, hot and ready. It's like just going and grab one. I was like, bro, why we always
we gotta get this Little Caesar sponsorship. How many times have we talked about
like
Little Caesars?
I remember when I first saw Little Caesars, and I was like, when my parents were driving, I was like, pizza for $5. My parents were like, no, it's not. And I was like, no, look. I'm like, let's go try that real quick.
I tried to get a job part-time at Little Caesars when I came home from prison.
Yeah.
And I walked in there and I was like, hey, where's Michelle at? Who wants to speak to her? Me. Where's she at? Well, what do you want with her? I need to talk to her. Well, who are you? Doesn't matter. Let me talk to her. Did you ever just ask me those questions? And I was like, in my head, I'm like, bro, I used to run this place. Bro. You don't even know.
Where's my key?
Like, man, you don't understand.
What was the first thing you did when you got out?
McDonald's, bro.
No, I mean like,
okay.
I mean like, what did you?
You went to McDonald's.
What you get from McDonald's? What you get
I
from
got
McDonald's?
2 number ones and 20 chicken nuggets.
Oh, there you go, bro.
Was that the first meal you ate when you got out?
Hell yeah.
What did you mean?
Like what?
Like, what job did he have?
Yeah. What did you try to do? Like, I'm gonna get a job and work on my resume.
No, you asked what's the first thing you did.
I know.
Out of
And he
jail.
said the first thing he did,
I
fucking
know.
McDonald's.
I fucked up with my answer, but like that's okay.
Your question.
That was one of my homies when he got out of prison. That was the first thing he did too, McDonald's. My homie Barney. You remember Barney?
Yeah.
So what was the first job you got after you got out of?
That's what I was. Thank you, Corday.
Because okay, so when I got out, I couldn't get hired anywhere. Okay. They did not want to hire me anywhere.
It's hard to get a job,
hard,
right?
Bro. It's fucking hard. So I ended up doing an electrician for my boy. He has his own company, so he gave me a job with him. I was working with him, and then the thing is that because parole requires you to have a paycheck stub and all that shit. I couldn't stay with him that long because they needed to prove that I was actually getting paid.
Oh, was he like under the table?
Yeah, he was doing cash. So I was like, all right, whatever. And then so I ended up looking for work. I ended up doing. I got into the rebar. I did rebar for about like 3 months, and then I started being a delivery driver for a meat company.
Okay.
And then I ended up getting put on in San Francisco for a material company, like construction material. And
was it like hard to let them know you're a...
No, I told him straight up.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be around the bush. I was straight up like, hey, you know what, man? This is my situation. I'm on parole. I just got out.
I need this job.
Yeah, I need this job. I guarantee you won't regret it, but it's on you if you want to keep.
You better fucking hire me.
It was like, I'll pull out my shank that I took.
I'll go back
that I've
to jail.
always had in prison.
He didn't have no shank. Remember?
Well, cause like, have you seen that, man?
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
Baskin-Robbins always like that.
Bro,
that's what I was thinking too. And he said he was like, I just told him.
Bro, it's almost like they want you to go back to jail sometimes. Like,
and it's, you know what? It's crazy because I understand why a lot of people go back and forth. It's now I know why people go back and forth. It's hard to get back on feet, and then people.
You're fucked when you get out.
Yeah.
So you have to go back to selling drugs. You have to get back into that lifestyle. That's the only way you're making money. Then you get caught up again.
Stealing catalytic converters and shit.
Well, I don't know about all that.
He's like, let me tell you. I mean,
our homie was an internet comedian. He makes a bunch of reels about like stealing catalytic. So that's why he said that.
Running errands.
So
right?
what is
running errands?
So with that situation at the ballpark, right? Like, I think he just asked this to like, what's the difference now? How does your attitude change after? Like, how would you handle that situation now?
Like right now, I'll tell you, hey, motherfucker, I whoop your ass.
like, what is that looking like today?
It probably depends.
Yeah.
It depends who I'm around, who I'm with, who's with me.
Because you got a family now.
Yeah, I got 3 kids and I got my wife, and so. If I'm with the family, of course, I'm just gonna like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna try to avoid any situations around my family.
Right.
Probably go leave him around the corner, come back and get his ass.
Right. yeah.
You heard it in front of you heard it here at the voice party. This is evidence, bro.
Do you see yourself like temperature as far as like getting heated super fast?
You're not a hothead
like a hothead.
I'm a hothead. I feel like now because of being incarcerated, I learned how to control
pick your battles.
Not pick my battles, but I learned how to
de-escalate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I know how to control what I do now. Like before, I never used to think about it. I used to just
I remember that.
Boom. You pissed me off. We're fighting.
Exactly. Now I'm just like, you know what? I kind of like. I can control myself, but I'll still be heated in the situation.
Right.
You get me? And it's like it's.
He used to be the way you need to go beat someone up, hit up D-List.
Well, I mean,
he doesn't know the guys. He was just down to go. Like that's who he used to be. So it's crazy to hear him say that.
Yeah.
Like wow.
Well, it's fucked
the
up.
The Hulk has gone to sleep.
Like episode 2 of This Fool.
It's fucked up to really come out of a system where, like you said, you have to be prepared for war at all time, right? And so, as soon as you come out, your first reaction or emotion is to be like, I'm gonna fuck you up because that's what I had to do to survive the past 7-10 months, 2 years, 3 years.
Especially having a job where you might want to fuck up your boss every once in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, not even just that, but just like drunk guys at a game.
Perfect example. Well, imagine having a boss. Okay, so I remember when I was incarcerated.
Wait. But you saying that means you've already dreamed about it.
So I was you get tested when you're in there, bro. You're gonna get tested.
Yeah.
You're gonna come across situations where if you react and you're reacting because you don't like how it's gonna affect you because then you're responsible for an action, so you gotta respond to that. You gotta like if I start a fight because someone's trying to like just say some stupid shit to me or just because he wants to clown or whatever, and if I start a fight,
It could lead to a whole riot.
It could lead to a whole riot. So now I'm responsible.
The leader could get killed. Yeah,
I'm responsible for that whole riot, and now my own people's gonna go and handle me.
Right.
On the side, you know, they're okay. You know what? It's your fault. Check it out. We gotta come holler at you.
Okay, so side question to that. Now, because you know how you said there was a mandatory chow that one time. When everyone has to get involved, does that guy, no matter what, is he going to get a side whooping at one point because he involved everyone, or is there certain situations like if you forced us to get involved when it was stupid? Because I mean, in real life, I feel like every fight story that we've heard from prison is kind of over something stupid, but. Like you know,
if it's for some, I mean, if it's for a stupid reason where they think it's really really stupid, they could just remove them. They'll be like, you know what, we're not gonna
like
do it.
You're putting us in danger.
No,
now.
but it wasn't stupid. This motherfucker told me that the Muppets were better than fucking Sesame Street. Fuck this motherfucker.
He ate too much of the spread. He didn't contribute nothing.
So there was.
Well, I've heard that's something too.
Yeah,
I remember. I
heard that too. It's right. Like you ate too much spread. Like, you know,
they contribute.
No, they take shit serious in there. Yeah. They take a lot of shit serious in there. It's a different world. It's a different world.
What about when he was lending the phone out and not charging people? What, he could have got beat up over that?
No, not him.
Okay,
because that's
his phone.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That was his phone.
And
there's no rule. It's your personal phone.
Exactly. There's no rule for
that.
You can give someone, like, if you wanted to give someone a whole pack of soups, you could do that. Yeah, your gang's not going to tell you, hey, man.
Gotcha.
Well, then what happens until you start looking like a bitch and then you start getting taken advantage of and shit like that?
So there was a situation when we were in camp, but this has to do with a lot of prison politics, you know, because even though you're at camp, you're still
politics
that still exist, and I feel like in camp, it's even more easier to get into some shit and get caught up and do hella shit because it's easier to get a lot of shit in there. So there was a situation in camp where one of our paisas, you know, this happened at work. I guess it was during work hours. I wasn't there, but I had to be responsible for the ass whooping I had to give my boy. So there was a situation where there was a paisa and a northerner that used to smoke spice or some shit like that. And the northerners aren't allowed to be doing shit like that. You know, they're strict. They're real strict about their program. So
what are they not allowed to do? Like they can't get high at all.
Smart.
They can't get drunk at all.
They're the most strictest
program.
They're like military. They say they're like military.
They're like military, bro.
But they do all that shit outside,
they're
right?
Gonna do it. Yeah. Whatever they do on the streets doesn't have to involve whatever they do in prison.
Wow. Okay.
But in prison, you're in prison. You gotta follow every rule you're in there for.
I saw an interview where they said they don't consider themselves a gang. They consider themselves an armed revolutionary group. Like, so they're like not really, you know, that's why he said they're like.
I'd like to know what revolution, what their cause is. You know, like other than selling drugs.
Any gang, what's their cause?
Well, to make money, I'd figure mostly, but very few of them go, "We're a revolution." Yeah. Okay, well,
but yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but finish the story. Yeah,
so I know. So I guess there was a situation where one of the northerner, or I don't know who it was. They told the other dude was like, "Hey, roll up," or some shit like that. I guess the paisa told the northerner to roll up. Northerner was like, "Fuck, I look like your bitch. Fuck you, you roll it up," you know. And he was like, "Well, come on." He's like, "Nah." And I guess he ended up saying, "Fuck you, bitch." You know,
yeah,
that's a big no-no.
That's a big no-no. You get called a bitch in there, you gotta automatically, you know.
You're fighting.
Yeah. So the shit about this story that was our paisa rep was there at the time this happened with another paisa that was there. So when the northerner called him a bitch, my boy was like, he didn't do nothing. He was like, you know, they kind of just like shut down. So then the rep being there, he said, fuck, all right, you know what, fuck this, I'm not gonna do this shit. He got up, was like, hey, look, I'm cool with you, me and you get along, I ain't got nothing against you, but I'm not gonna let you call him a bitch in front of me.
Right.
You get me? We gotta do what we gotta do, straight up.
Right.
And they start, you know, they had to do what they gotta do.
Right.
They got in a fight. A little small riot, paisa norteños, just between them, you know, whatever.
Right.
So this is where politics and a lot of issues happen too. Like, you know, for example, when a Southsider fights, a paisa has to jump in, mandatory, no matter what, no matter who it is, you got to jump in. Same shit goes the other way.
Backwards.
Paisa fights, Southsider jumps in. Situations happen here.
That's if you're around, right?
Yeah, that's if you're around. Situation that happened here, paisa that got called a bitch didn't jump in. Southsider that was smoking with him didn't jump in. You get me? And then so it was kind of like a 2-on-2, you know.
They could do 1-on-1s and shit, right?
No 1-on-1s.
Damn.
No fair ones at all.
No fair ones at all in there.
It's like
whatever happened to honor among thieves, right? Like
only way you're getting away with fair ones is if you're doing that shit under the table when no one's gonna find out.
That's like when you fight
which
with
is where
you fuck with someone attached to NAFTA, basically, like, you know.
Yeah.
So they fight, they get it over with, they come back to the camp. I remember I'm in the shower. My rep comes in. He was like, "Hey," he's like, "Hurry up, we gotta handle some shit." I didn't know what was going on yet.
Jeez.
I knew something bad. I'm like, "Okay, someone fucked up." I get out, go get dressed. Before I even go over,
are you nervous that this is about you or?
No, because I knew I didn't do. I'm like, well, I knew I had to do something, but I just didn't know what it was gonna be. I'm like, all right, fuck it, something's gonna happen.
Someone's about to go down.
Typical Rodile.
No, I had no choice.
Who's that? Who we get?
So he's walking in. Okay, they're walking into my dorm, and I'm already getting dressed. I see who was walking in. It was my OG. It was the Reb, and it was my boy and the other bicycle cat behind him. And I could tell it was my boy who fucked up because he's coming walking down with his head down, and I'm like, yeah, you fucked up. I already know it because he already had that look like fuck. So they're walking by me. My Reb hands me the gloves, some mechanic gloves.
Shit.
He's like, come on, we're gonna go to the handball court. So we go to the handball court. He's telling me the whole story, what happened on the way down. As soon as we get there, open up, we ended up having to beat him up for 16 seconds.
16?
That was the first one. That was the first warning. You know what? This is your first warning.
Yeah.
You gotta get 16 seconds, 2-on-1.
Now, are they? This is going to sound stupid, but in this scenario, is the person that's getting beat up expected not to try to fight back? Is that?
Oh no, he asked. He. I mean, shit. As anyone, if you're a man, you're gonna be like, "Hey, what's up? Can I fight back?"
What happens if he clocks one of you guys and knocks one of you cold? Like,
then that's on.
Well, he still got like 4 other dudes coming at him, right?
Nah. It was only you. Now it was only 2. It was the first warning. When it's the first warning, you're just gonna get beat up.
Yeah, which is still pretty fucking.
Well, we lumped him up. We fucking,
You were one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we weren't supposed to do face shots, but because he decided to fight back,
It's free for all.
we were like, all right, you're gonna fight back, fuck you, I'm gonna hit you in the forehead,
Yeah.
So shit, fucking
Right.
It was hella funny because I felt bad. It's my boy.
Yeah.
He was a cool dude, but he was stubborn, little reckless cat.
So what happens after that? Are you guys still cool?
Nah, we're still cool. We shook his hand. We just it's business.
A lot of the
business.
shit that you would get away with in the streets, like, in prison, like shit like that. Like, okay, bitch, we're your mom now.
Yeah,
And that's why
exactly.
A lot of dudes come out a little bit like.
You're gonna line yourself up in there, or they're gonna line you up, bro.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Like,
It's gonna happen.
like, you're not. For example, this is why I was like I wanted to mention, like, we're from the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. I'm a Mexican from the Bay Area. We're not really liked in prison because we're from Northern California. Mm-hmm. That's how they see it. That every Mexican in Northern California is a norteño. You get me? So when I went in there,
Geographically, yeah.
yes. When I went in there, everyone assumed I was like, no, they were at like once they found out that I was from Richmond or by the San Francisco area. Well, why didn't you run norte? Because I don't bang. I'm not gang affiliated. I'm Mexican. Mm-hmm. My family's Mexican. We come from, our roots is from Mexico. Why should I run?
Why do I have to be?
Why do I have to be a norteño just because I live in Northern California?
Right.
So I had a lot of like bad feedback because we're from Northern California, and I wasn't the only one. Yeah, I wasn't the only one. Anyone that's been to prison, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, some dudes ain't gonna like you because you're from Northern California. I met some cool dudes too. Don't get me wrong. There was some cool ass cats in there, bro. That were from like hella cool, straight gangster thugs. Mm-hmm. Cool ass fuck, bro. Mm-hmm. Humbled,
level-headed.
Yeah, but then you meet some dudes that just like they love to hate, bro. They fucking love to hate.
Speaking of some of the people you met,
we're getting to this.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Finish the story.
No. Go ahead.
Well, you had an encounter with a serial killer.
Yeah, dude. I didn't even know he was one.
That's hella crazy. I
love Tony. Tony's a great guy.
He made the best pasta.
He made the best
like
pasta.
the most polite guy in jail.
He was my best man at my wedding.
Was he nice?
He was quiet. I didn't really like.
Oh, hey guys.
Bro, he was kind of like solo, like lonely. Like he didn't really associate well.
So he didn't associate with anyone.
No.
So you got to be a serial killer if you want to be solo.
You got to be crazy, bro.
You know what? He was older.
Okay.
And I think he was like low profile because of his charges.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
You get me? Because
I see he killed like 5+ victims in San Mateo County.
Yeah. So
all women.
For everyone that didn't watch the last episode, I was in jail, my county jail. Well, the jury just. What do you say? How do you say that word? The jurisdiction. Those motherfuckers. San Mateo County was the guys that arrested me. San Mateo County. I was incarcerated in San Mateo County. Yeah. So I ended up being in county jail with a serial killer. They called him the Gypsy Hill Killer or some shit.
Gypsy Hill Killer.
I didn't even fucking know this dude, bro. He was.
So you found out about him in jail?
Yeah, by someone else. I guess someone like.
Wow.
The guy was a Picasso of a fucking jail, bro.
Wow.
He was a fucking artist.
Really?
I give him that. Straight fuck. He was doing portraits for everybody.
Wow. What?
That's how he was living. You know, like you said, in prison, jail.
You gotta make your money.
You're gonna find a hustle.
Yeah, it just threw me. I'm like Picasso making portraits. I'm just like, okay.
Bro, this motherfucker had bars, bro.
Really?
Fucker.
Like what kind of? What did the paintings look like?
Bro, he's gonna portraits, just face portraits. He was just drawing.
Like he was acting good,
bro.
Pencil or paint? Like you can't.
He was doing
right?
pencil.
Okay.
He was doing pencil. He was doing color too, but mostly pencil.
Yeah.
So
you can't have like a lot of shit in there.
No, you can't have a lot of shit. So I remember how I was seeing a few portraits done by him. Some cats was showing me, oh yeah, look what he did. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna send one home. So I had a picture of my niece. You get me? And I was like, all right, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna have him. You know, it was clean. I was like, dude. I didn't know this yet. I went up to him. Hey, bro, how much you gonna charge me to do a portrait? I want to send one home. Oh, give me $15. Well, what do you want? Just whatever. Bring me some markers. I mean, some color pencils and some soups. All right, cool. Bro, I get my shit back. And I was amazed, bro.
You still got it?
I still got it. My sister has it.
You have a picture of it on your phone?
I don't have a picture.
Can you send me a picture later?
Please send it. Yeah.
I got his signature on it too and everything.
That's cool.
That's creepy.
And then,
That's creepy.
I mean, if it weren't for
I forgot
a serial killer, I'd be very heartwarmed right now.
Well, it's your picture of your niece, so I'm like,
yeah, that's why I
he ain't getting out.
I would have never.
You wouldn't have done that if you didn't know.
Yeah,
or if you knew.
He was older already, bro. He was fucking like 70, 60 years old.
And he was like normal.
He was bro. That fucker walked like a flamingo, bro. Walk with one leg like this. He stand up like a flamingo, straight up like this. Bro.
Oh, what the fuck?
I was like, what's wrong with that guy?
So how did you come across him? Like what?
Well, we were in the same pod.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Same pod. Different cells, just same pod. So we would come out at the same time.
Yeah.
But like I would see him, but no one really talked to him. No one, because he was a low pro. He kept a low profile.
Yeah.
So I remember I had some.
He's in the county jail.
Nah, he got sentenced. He got sentenced already in 2018 for life. He got life. So I remember
he got 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that boy got.
He's been in for a long time.
Well, he did like 40 years. He did like a 40-year bid.
And it takes a while if they're not saying like, all right, I did it. It takes a while for them to get like all the evidence and shit, right?
I know he went down for the 1970 ones. And he did like 40 years.
Yeah.
Got out. I think he was out for like a year or two.
And did some more.
They hit him with some DNA, some old ass DNA shit. Picked his ass up for an old ass homicide from the 70s.
It's crazy to think there's a lot of serial killers still out.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Like BTK was one of the most recent ones. They caught him because his dumbass did some stupid shit. He wanted to get caught too because he wants that. But sorry, no. So you came across him. You're in the same pod.
Yeah.
And then you just like he's an artist, but
I didn't know. I'm walking to my cell, and then the dude from the town, from Oakland, right? I was cool with him. He was like, hey, check it out. I'm like, what's up? Hey, you know who that is? Hell nah, who's that? He was like, bro, you don't know who that is? Nah, who's that? He's like, don't say shit, bro. That's a gypsy serial killer. Who the fuck is that? I'm like, who the fuck is that? He was like, bro, you don't know him? I'm like, hell no, I never heard of him. He was like, bro, that's a serial killer from the 70s.
Jesus.
And I'm looking at him, I'm like, what the fuck? And
how does he look?
Let me show you a picture,
old white guy?
Yeah, it's an old white guy, long hair, long beard. Fucking look like he was fucking, I don't know, bro. The guy he was older, bro.
Ooh.
Oh, him?
Yeah. That's him right there.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Okay.
That's him.
He's a good artist, huh?
He's a good artist. Picasso.
So did you already send home the picture at that point, or what?
Yeah, it was already on the way home.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know. See, I was like, fuck.
Bless that shit.
But he was low profile because of, since, his charges, that's not really allowed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I heard.
I was going to say, this makes me so confused because, there's certain rules. Like, if you get certain charges, you're not supposed to, like, they're going to either.
Shit, that's unacceptable. For example.
What's unacceptable, though? But, like, there are people in there that do crazy shit.
rape, like shit, kind of like child harms, rape, molest, like just.
Right.
Anything involving kids.
Anything involving with kids or like raping and shit like that. Like they're not gonna. They don't tolerate shit like that.
Right.
They don't. You know, they got family. A lot of the guys in there got family.
But what happens? They're gonna get beat up or you're gonna get killed.
They gonna try to kill you, bro.
Yeah.
What is the mentality there when you're brutally murdering people, and you're like, no, but you're worse than I am? What's your mentality? What's not your specific mentality, but like overall mentality of the prisoners right there?
Oh, it's
because
no good.
because honestly, one's not better than the other. You know what I mean? Or
I mean,
okay, legally, you're getting off.
Like if you massacred a bunch of your like gang rivals. And then this dude killed like 4 or 5 kids. Like I consider the one that killed kids worse.
But sometimes kids get hurt in a drive-by.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So I'm like,
that shit don't fly either, huh?
I don't think it does.
Yeah.
I never came across one like that, a case like that. So I don't think that
Is keeping is it a rule to keep your case low profile at all times? I've heard that.
But you got to carry your papers.
Yeah,
you got to carry your papers.
It doesn't really matter because they're gonna
find out eventually.
They're gonna find out, bro. Motherfuckers got phones in there. They're gonna search you up.
One of my homies told me that he went to jail. He went to jail along with his the same night. He went to jail for a car accident, like a DUI, but he didn't kill anybody. But that same night in San Jose, some other dudes crashed into this family and killed like 2 kids. Yeah. So when he went in, they thought
it was him.
It was him. Like, hey, you were here for that car accident? He said he was about to get jumped. It's like, no, that wasn't us.
Yeah, you harm any kids or whatever, bro. They take that shit serious.
Yeah,
they take that serious. I was in there with dudes that were in there for manslaughter because they were drunk, and they weren't liked a lot. They didn't like them because, you know, people have lost loved ones in drunk accidents. You know.
Yeah, but then gang violence is cool because you kill a bunch of loved ones
versus a purposeful murder.
Yeah, it's
innocent people.
Yeah,
but you got to remember, like, they're not going to turn the mirror on themselves and be like, I'm a piece of shit because I killed.
I'm pretty sure someone who
no one's going to do that. So
I did mine for a reason. you fucked up.
Yeah,
it's different.
You made a mistake, so that means
I knew what I was doing.
I don't think we'll ever have the answers, man.
No, you won't, because that mentality's all fucked up anyways.
Bro, that was a crazy one right there. I guess some dude, the Norteño, was getting high. His homies found out he was getting high, and they fucking removed this dude, bro. They shanked his ass in the face. We were in the yard.
In the face?
We were in the yard, bro. We were in the fucking yard, and you can see the vibe. We're in the yard, and the fucking vibe. Everyone's already on the walls. They're on the edge. They already knew what was gonna happen. I didn't know shit. I was walking with the other homie. I remember we just turned around, and Norteño walking by with 3 other Norteños. And one of them just turns around and slashes his fucking cheek, right? And then the other 2 go and they just rush him. They went in there, rushed him, two, dropped his ass, and they took off. They left him there. They took off, got rid of the shit, and kept him moving. Another wave comes by, another 3 Norteños come by, and they fucking, as soon as the dude's getting up, dude comes by, face again, bah, slashed him. Damn. Slashed him, the other 2 fucking kept brushing him, and they just fucking... Dude couldn't fucking. Whole face was bloody red.
So they're leaving him. It's done.
It's done. He's getting removed. They're removing him. That's like you ain't.
Oh, they're showing the officers like
we don't want him here.
We don't want him here.
Like,
they have their own area, right?
Yeah.
Where, like a lot of those dudes are rapists and
Yeah.
Like he was getting high off what?
Yeah, they're considered PCs. Like when you get removed, you're a PC. You no good. You
protective custody.
Protective custody.
Oh, okay.
Right.
You gotta be in there. If you're a snitch or a rapist, it's like imagine you're just a snitch and you're in there with a bunch of pedos. Like
yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, like or apparently getting high. Or what was he getting high on? Was it something serious? It was just
that's
marijuana.
What they used.
That's just no.
He was smoking purple.
That was a decoy, probably just to get him to come out. Like, hey, you want to come smoke? Yeah, that's how you lure him out.
Because I remember him saying that they were very disciplined about stuff, and I figured there was a drug-free policy, so I thought that's why they did it. It was like this motherfucker was getting high the other day. We gotta fuck him up now.
Yeah, no, you gotta take all that serious, bro. There's rules you gotta follow, and if you don't follow them, there's consequences.
Right.
We're almost at the end. We're actually getting ready to close out. Any other things that you missed out that you want to kind of like throw in there real quick? I know you got a lot, but
just don't go to jail, bro.
Don't go to jail. How did jail impact you though? Like for like
you know what? I'm actually it's an experience. It's an experience. As much as I hated it, I'm actually happy I actually went through that experience because you open your eyes to the world way different. You come out looking at shit way different. I was hella stubborn, reckless. I was reckless before I went in, bro. Reckless. And when you're in there, it's like they take your freedom away. You're gonna really deep. You're gonna think deep, and you're gonna be like, damn, bro, I had it good. Like, what the fuck am I doing in here? You're gonna miss a family and everything, but then at the same time, you're gonna see those true colors of those around you. You know, you're gonna see who was really there for you. You're gonna see who really loves you, and you know they're gonna show out. You're gonna realize who's the main ones that care for you and everything. So, I mean, you get out. You're more ambitious to do things in life. You know, you want to go ahead and. I came home, bro. I had kids. Got married. You know,
you're family man now. You're working full time.
Beautiful.
Quick question: what was your turning point though to make that lifestyle change? Because you said that you had kids. You just said you had kids going into prison?
When he got invited to the voice podcast.
He's like, I decided to change my life today. No.
No, back when he.
But like back. So you had kids after prison. Okay, so what was like mentality coming out of prison? Are you still like, man, like I'm still reckless, or are you changed kind of like in there? You're like, I'm ready to get the fuck out. I'm not trying to do this again.
Being in there, bro. Being in there, you're housed with a shitload of motherfucking dudes. I mean, you're living with nothing but dudes, bro. You know, you can't hug your family. You can't see your people, your loved ones whenever you want. You're living with nothing but dudes.
On eggshells all day.
And you're dealing with attitudes, bro. You're dealing with time bombs, everything, bro. So you're gonna deal with a little bit of everything.
Unchecked childhood bad habits and shit,
bro.
Ooh, yeah.
It's gonna hit you, like, bro. Is this really what I want to do?
Right.
Is this really what I want
to feel the rest of my life?
I want to be here for the rest of my life.
Being told what time to wake up.
Yeah, bro. They're telling you what time you gotta eat. Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta follow rules. You gotta follow orders. You gotta do it, bro.
And not even like logical rules, like rules that like can get you fucking hurt at any point.
It's just, I don't know, bro. To me, it was more like don't get me wrong. I don't mind dealing with the consequences, but this ain't for me.
Right.
I want to be here, bro, for the rest of my life. Right. You know, having a fucking live with another dude in a cell. You know, I need my privacy, bro.
Living with serial killers.
But it's a whole different ballgame, bro. You become someone else. You're an animal.
Just get your shit together while you're on the outside and don't get caught up. And don't fucking around with Little Caesars on San Pablo Avenue. Fuck you up.
I think it closed. I think it closed, right?
No, it's still open.
Nah, it's still open.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
All right, man. You guys got anything else to?
No.
Man, do the best you can. Keep yourself out of trouble and keep your head up if you are in trouble.
Are you talking to youngsters at all?
Nah, not right now.
Well, I heard of a program that I could link you up with if you're interested in talking to youngsters.
I wouldn't mind.
Well, anyways, anywhere people could follow you if you want them to follow you, or you want to just kind of
stay low key.
Nah, I think I'm fine low key.
Okay.
Tag me if they want to fast on them. I'm cool low key, man. I just I'm used to having the low key.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
I know someone else who was low key a serial killer.
Be a man of the people.
All right, man. You got anything?
Nah, man. Just thank you for sharing, man. That's really dope.
No
problem.
All right.
It's a great interview, man. Thank you for coming.
That's been the Voice Party.
And we're out.
Fuck.
All right.